my beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be ranking my mini Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes. I do have currently 6 in my collection, and there is a small bonus that I'm going to be chatting about and sharing my thoughts on at the end of the ranking. Before we get started with the mini Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes ranking, I would love to welcome new visitors and viewers to my channel. Hi, my name is Eve and I love all things beauty. Here on my channel I share about makeup, skincare, hair care, and at times lifestyle things like travel, fashion, and lifestyle vlogs. I do upload new videos every week, and if that sounds interesting to you, I hope you stick around, enjoy this video, and subscribe to my channel. And now without further ado, let's get into the ranking. I have purchased all these eyeshadow palettes with my own money. If I have any photos of looks, I will be posting them here, and as well as swatches. So enough said, let's get into the ranking. And in spot number 6, I do have a mini Biba eyeshadow palette. This is a very beautiful, considerably neutral color story. There are 4 mattes here and then 1 shimmer. The shimmer is quite beautiful. It is also considerably a light shimmer. This cream to powder matte shade right here has a little bit of sheen to it. It's not necessarily a shimmery formula, but because it is that softer cream to powder formula, whenever you apply it on the skin, it does have a little bit of a natural sheen to it. The reason why I rank this palette on the last spot is not because I don't like it. I really like Natasha Denona quality. As a matter of fact, all the eyeshadow palettes that I'm talking about today, I think they're very consistent with the quality. It really all comes down to the arrangement or ratio of mattes to shimmers and just the color stories in general. So the reason why I rank this on the last spot, on spot number 6, is because there's only 1 shimmer. I do really like my shimmers. I do enjoy a good matte look, which is basically what you're gonna get out of this palette primarily. This palette is definitely more of a companion palette to me. I do enjoy myself a nice matte look, but it is quite a rare occasion for my lifestyle, so I do prefer something that has shimmer on the lid, and this palette happens to be more of a companion palette for that reason, because it's primarily matte. On a spot number 5, I do have a mini Love palette. This is very curated and different color story. There are 2 mattes here. One is a little bit lighter and one is quite dark, and you definitely can build up nice depth with this shade. And there are 3 different shimmers, and they're all quite different. This is a beautiful palette, beautiful quality. I really like the ratio of mattes and shimmers here, and definitely a different color story. The reason why it ended up here on spot number 5 is because I generally do like pinks and purples, but it's not like my everyday type of color scheme. So that's why this palette is here. On the spot number 4, I have a mini gold palette. This is a color story that is definitely a little bit more neutral. It has a grunginess in it, and this is something that I personally love. I think this palette is quite unique in its way. There are 2 mattes here and they're somewhat mid-tone. However, Natasha Denona mid-tone shades sometimes look lighter in the pan, but they do build up really nicely on the eye. Darker shade in this palette is actually metallic, and then we get 2 beautiful shimmers. They're also very different from each other. This shade right here is very, very special. It gives you like that multi-dimensional effect. I personally myself do not mind this darker shade being shimmer. I think it brings that very sophisticated glam touch, like finishing touch to the looks. For this grungier color story, it's not necessarily a bad thing to my opinion when you can just make it a little bit more feminine with a touch of reflect. So I really, really enjoy and appreciate this color story. So on spot number 3, I actually have my very first eyeshadow palette mini from Natasha Denona. It is a mini nude eyeshadow palette. If you know me, you would not be surprised. This is a warm neutral eyeshadow palette. So this is where I started with my minis with Natasha Denona. As a matter of fact, it was not only my first mini from Natasha Denona, it was my very first Natasha Denona palette, period. This is how my journey and relationship with Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes started, and I was definitely not disappointed. This is a beautiful neutral warm tone palette. It is more of your classic 2 nice mattes that create dimension. Then you get 3 different shimmers. You get very nice light one that you can put in your inner corner or brow bone. The quality is exceptional here. I think this is more of like your classic traditional approach. All these shimmers are just beautiful, reflective, smooth, and you get a really nice opacity with all the shimmers as well. They apply beautifully with the brush. If you do not like using your fingers, you don't have to. You can also spray your brush a little bit and it will give you even more punch to the shades. Not a very unique color story, let's say, but it's definitely a good one. It's like the go-to palette that I've used so many times. I've traveled with this many times. Yeah, definitely. So this is a favorite. So on the spot number 2, I do have a palette that is on my eyes today, and this is a mini star palette. I will be holding it like this because very unfortunately, but my packaging broke and I'm heartbroken. This is one of my favorite color stories, obviously, that's why it's on the second spot. I love my neutrals. I really love that this is a more of your cooler tone version of a palette, and it's nicely curated. For this makeup look, I use all 5 shades. I started with this shades. I use this on my outer corner and lower lash line to darken the look a little bit. Obviously, this is not the darkest. You can go with this. You can definitely go and smoke out this look, but I again could not blend today, and I mixed both of these shades on my lid today, and I think these two colors go very beautifully together, and this one is on my inner corner. This is a very unique color story that I personally very much enjoy. I really love this color story. The quality obviously is beautiful. I do find that this shade and this shade, they both apply better with finger. I'm not generally a huge fan of cool tone neutrals. I feel like at times they might look a little bit too harsh on me. However, this specific color story with these two shimmers makes it very interesting and flattering, but I am very much heartbroken with this packaging. So on the first spot, I do have a palette that is somewhat new to me. I have only picked it up at the end of 2022. I bought it as partially as a gift for my birthday. So this is a Mini Zendo palette. Is quite neutral, but I really love that rosy undertone that the palette carries. There are 2 lighter mattes here, and there are 3 shimmers, and the darkest one is a shimmer. This is a color story that I personally love. I really love the combination of this like dusty rose with silver. This is a color combination that I personally very much enjoy on me, and whenever I saw this palette, I was like, yeah, this is gonna join my collection sooner or later. And as far as this darker shade being a satin, I do enjoy this because it does give you that very glam finish to your eye makeup look. This was actually the only palette that I took with me when me and my boyfriend traveled to Key Largo in Florida for Valentine's Day. I wore this every single night that we were going out, and I did not get tired of the makeup look, even though it is a pretty small palette and the look would come out pretty much the same every single time, but I enjoy the colors so much. I really love that I can create one full look out of this and I don't need to reach for anything else. This color story just gives me all the positive vibes. It makes me feel beautiful and glamorous and pulled together, and yeah, this is definitely a new favorite. And as I mentioned earlier, there is a bonus in today's ranking. I wanted to talk about something that is in my collection that has been loved very much. I have talked about this product so many times, and if you follow my channel long enough, you would definitely know my love for it. I didn't want to put it into the ranking necessarily because it wouldn't be a completely fair game, let's say, but I definitely wanted to talk about it in this video. So this is a glam face palette, and I wanted to talk about this palette because obviously it is Natasha Denona. It is technically a face palette. There is a blush and a highlighter, which I also very much love, but there is also technically a 5-pan palette, which I love so much. If I were to put this into the ranking, I would rank this on a 3rd spot because these undertones, they're not too warm, they're not too cool, they're just perfectly neutral that go with everything. I could do bright lip and wear this, I can do a neutral lip and wear this, I can do a pink lip and wear this. It just so universal and you can't go wrong with it. The quality is exceptional. There are 3 mattes, which is perfect for blending and doing like super easy look without thinking, right? There are 2 shimmers. One is a little bit deeper and this one is a little bit lighter, perfect for your inner corner and brow bone. They are stunning. They're so reflective. They're like very high shine, gorgeous. So I just thought I wanted to mention this palette and how much I love it and where I would put it if I were to add this to the ranking. This is my ranking of all my minis from Natasha Denona. They are very much loved by me. They're slightly bit different. Some I definitely reach for more often. And I do enjoy that there are some curated color stories and some of them they're like very basic neutrals, but they do have this beautiful formula that is just such a pleasure to work with. It's almost like a therapeutic moment when you blend in Natasha Denona formula of eyeshadows. If you've missed my ranking of the MIDI Natasha Denona palettes, that video is already live on my channel. I will have it linked for you in the description box and in the cards at the end of this video for you to catch up on. I would love to know if you own any of Natasha Denona mini palettes and which one is your favorite. If you enjoyed this video, give this a big thumb up. It does help my channel out. And thanks so much for watching, hanging out with me today, and I will see you in my next videos.